Avengers, assemble. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're enjoying the videos we are producing, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. And if you're in a position to support the channel, you can follow a link in the description below and assemble with us on our Patreon. We have multiple tiers available, starting as low as $1 a month. And I want to take a moment and thank my Avenger and Founder level tiers for their continued support. Thank you so much. For today's topic on Avengers Cut content, we're looking at the Kree enemy type. The Kree enemy type was going to be amazing. I say that with all the confidence in the world. They were going to be introduced with the Kree Invasion DLC that was going to introduce a number of NPCs, a number of new locations, both terrestrial and extra, and of course the key playable hero and the centerpiece of the expansion, who was going to be Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. With the Kree enemy types, we were going to have a number of basic ones, and again, these were all going to be armored aliens. You know, these weren't going to all be drones. These were going to be new enemy types with new mechanics, you know, obviously new alien technology. We were going to see the blue Kree powered up, armored up, and it was going to be awesome. And again, in terms of races and in terms of, you know, the comics that I grew up with, the Kree Skrull War was a really big deal, and those seeds were going to be planted. While Skrulls weren't going to be active in this particular DLC, the seeds of the Skrulls and a future secret invasion were going to be planted here. Now, those future plans did not get far. I mean, again, we're talking about the Kree invasion. That had development, that had concepts and work, which, again, going back to our data mines in 2020, we found multiple pieces of evidence of the Kree being worked on as far back as the beta. So we had clues that it was coming, but the amount of enemy types and versatility and variety that we missed out on, again, how close we were. A number of reports have said that we were on the cusp of the Kree Invasion DLC. It was just around the corner, and due to budgetary restrictions, due to shuffling off, the studio getting sold, the lack of licensing, all kinds of corporate business and poor leadership led us to missing out on a key piece of, you know, Marvel canon in terms of the Kree and the Kree Invasion, but also a great almost end point to the story arc, just a great capstone, at least a proper way of ending the story and tying as much as you possibly could together. And with the Kree, of course, came Kree sentries, and those were going to be new major boss types. The sentries were going to be big, powerful, hulking bosses, and yet again, can you imagine those mechanics of fighting that? Can you imagine the stage that it set? Now, one of the things that, again, in addition to the Skrulls not making it very far, just teases, just little bits of setup because it was a live service game setting up. Other things that were going to be included in terms of Kree enemy types, besides you would have melee, you would have ones with special abilities and special powers, you would have a lot of them running around with, you know, cosmic powered weapons and alien technology. And you would not only would you have all these enemy types, but they would also come with new game types. They would come with, you know, extraction sort of game types is the best way I can kind of compare it to. The Kree were going to be, again, actively invading Earth. They were going to be actively attempting to assimilate. They were going to be abducting humans and inhumans alike, performing experiments, and this would really explode the variety in terms of the game types that we were going to be able to play. And ultimately, it didn't come to pass. If you played Marvel's Avengers, you've seen the clues. If you've been following this channel for a number of years since we first leaked the Avengers project, you know that this was always a key turning point in the live service story. You know, to get here, this was really going to be the end of a big arc. This was like the end to their Infinity Saga. This was going to be a big point in terms of transitioning into in terms of transitioning and expanding into a new story arc with, you know, characters and locations and just kind of putting a cap on this kind of invasion storyline. And it sucks. This is another one where you could tell from the developers and from the way that they spoke, it really was. It was yet again something that was excitedly, passionately worked on. If you're watching every video in this series, you're going to hear me say it a lot, but I don't want to leave this understated just from the people that I spoke to. The people working on Avengers were excited and passionate about it. They really wanted to truly make something special, and they didn't get the full opportunity to explore that. They didn't get the proper leadership and guidance to do that, and it is an absolute shame. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a marvelous day. Bye, everyone.